lie. The numbers don't lie, and this one did pretty well. All
Numbers do
right.
lie. We're having this whole problem with the ballots right now, and voting.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Okay.
let's not
Okay.
sidetrack it.
Yeah.
Let's talk
But
about
hey,
happy things like Halloween.
like
Candy.
Halloween, yeah. It's spooky season.
I was just correcting a false statement. Numbers
Yeah.
lie.
Here's the thing: we'd be remiss not to do a Halloween movie during Halloween times. So let's get this
Exactly.
started, guys.
I mean, we're doing this out of obligation.
Yes.
I had high hopes for this movie, but anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into it, guys. Are
Yeah,
you
let's
ready?
do it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Fry Cap. What's
Hey.
on, everybody?
Welcome back, guys.
Hey, welcome.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
What's everybody drinking tonight? Am I the only one?
I'm drinking what got us to the dance, straight up whiskey, but in my cool like supernatural mug. Shout out to the Supernatural crew for their last season for this season.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's cool.
It's a pretty cool mug.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Rich?
Golden Road Wolf Pup, IPA, hoppy.
Very
man,
happy.
looks like you're already five in right now.
No, it's just hot.
Do a little same, little IPA action, a little sculpin. So,
Oh, all right.
a lot of hops.
Keep on munching on those hops, guys.
Yeah, a
Liquid
lot of
bread.
hops on Halloween. You know, it kind
Hoppy,
of goes hand in
hoppity
hand.
hop.
But you know what goes in hand with Halloween? It's Halloween, more Halloween.
More Halloween movie. How about that? All right.
So, continuing with our October theme, we're doing the 2018 Halloween of the same name, right? So, Al, why'd you pick this movie? This was yours for our.
Well, because you know
podcast.
you picked the zombie genre. Rich had the ghost, so I figured like let me spice things up with like a little slasher movie. Like that was so I was like I was just basing it just because you guys took the other like major ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. Yeah, we're looking forward to it to kind of spice it up. Next week we'll have another surprise, but yeah, I was looking forward to this movie. I hadn't seen it. This is the first time I watched it, and
Okay. I actually watched it in the theater.
Did you really? Yeah, I mean, I remember the original, but I'm not like deep into the whole series. I didn't see the Rob Zombie one versions or these other.
I feel like we should have did the Rob Zombie one because that's like a lot more polarizing.
Isn't that a prequel too? It kind of tells the backstory.
No, that was more of a reimagining also. But this one, we'll read the synopsis and then we'll get into it.
Okay, let's get into the synopsis and then we'll hop in. All right, so Halloween is a 2018 American horror slasher film directed by David Gordon Green, written by Green, Jeff Fradley, and Danny McBride. Yes, that Danny McBride. It's the 11th installment in the Halloween film series and a direct sequel to the 1978 film of the same name, affecting a retcon of all previous sequels. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castle, who reprised their respective roles as Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Also portraying Myers is the original stuntman too, James Jude Courtney. The film also stars Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, Will Patton, and Virginia Gardner. The plot follows a post-traumatic Laurie Strode who prepares to face Michael Myers in the final showdown on Halloween night, 40 years after she survived his killing spree. The movie came out obviously in 2018, had a budget of looks like somewhere between 10 and 15 million and box office of $255 million.
Yeah, so, like I said, numbers don't lie.
Killed it. Not bad. I say killed it at the box office.
Yeah.
Oh, dad jokes.
For 10 million to make that much money, that's impressive.
It's very impressive. Yeah,
that's why they're already making sequels out of this one. It's already getting planned.
That's nice.
I think it's even being shot already. I'm not even sure.
Well, let's get to the plot, Al. I mean, let's talk about this reimagining, if you will. Go ahead, dive in.
It's technically not a reimagining. They scrapped the 40 years of sequels and said this is the only legit sequel. Everything else this is the only canon. Everything else is like scrap. The H2O with LL Cool J, the Resurrection with Busta Rhymes, that's all out the Pinchy window. All right. Nice. This is the only legit one. And I like that. because pretty much everyone after the first original Halloween was shit. There, I said it. Sorry guys, I said it. It's shit. So I kind of give them props for that. I gave it a plot 7 out of 10. There wasn't a lot of meat. I just like the effort of making it a continuation of the first one.
Okay, Rich, what do you got on this reimagining or not reimagining?
It's not
depending how you look at it.
I gave it a 5. I mean, if they're gonna scrap 40 years of movies, they should have came out with something just a little bit more impressive than he escapes, kills people. Oh, he's going after the girl again. Oh, wait a minute, she wins again. Ha ha! Cheers. There's the movie.
Well, spoiler alert for for that. But I mean, what did you want then? Like, was he gonna come out in like an Iron Man suit, or like he's gonna come with Bigfoot or something? What do you want? What did you want?
Something more than that. I mean, come on. What is different from this movie to the first one other than they're all fucking old?
Well, that's because it's supposed to be legit 40 years after. Of course, they're gonna be
well, that's definitely
old.
part of it.
I mean, look, but I mean, there was just nothing to this movie. Honestly, it just
Laurie Strode's
5.
She spent 40 years making herself into Sarah Connor, pretty much getting ready.
That's a great way. That's a great way of putting it.
Getting ready for Michael Myers, this giant, like this fucking old like serial killer now.
This was her judgment day.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I get it. All right, wasn't a lot of meat on those bones, but it is what it is. It got the job done. All right.
Here's the thing. This was like not even meat on the bones. This was like a salad with no dressing. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3.
Out of here.
It was a salad, no dressing, and leftovers.
Get out of here.
All right. This was like, I mean, it was totally unimaginative. It felt like the exact same story. He breaks out, he kills a couple of babysitters, goes after Jamie Lee Curtis for whatever reason. And we still don't even know all we know is he's evil. He's just so evil. It's like, he's evil. Okay, what did he say? Well, he hasn't said anything. Well, what's his motive? I don't know. No one knows, but he's evil incarnate.
He just eats and kills and shits. That's all he does.
Yeah, he's just evil, guys. He's just born evil. All he doesn't need to talk. He just kills, bro. Damn.
Well, he definitely that's definitely all he does.
Evil's aging pretty bad.
All right.
He's old.
Well, whatever.
He's definitely old.
Disagree, guys. Yeah, he is old. This guy's like over 60 years old now.
And he got hit by a car.
Yeah, he got shot, hit by a car. I get it.
Don't even get me started on
Here's
that.
the thing, guys. I've said it before. You got to suspend some disbelief here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. This movie was asking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, if she was really that worried, maybe she should have just moved to another country. Because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, Michael Myers doesn't have a passport.
Well,
all right?
You know what?
So if he escaped,
he didn't even move out of the county.
Here's the other thing.
Because
they wanted to, if she really wanted to take him out, what does he do? He goes into houses. She had all this land. She could have sat in a tree with a sniper rifle, waited, and just went like, bink, you're dead, Michael.
Like I said, you have to suspend some disbelief. I get it. 40 years of preparing, she could have done a little bit better than just a legit death trap.
She could have done a little bit.
I get
she could have done a little bit better too than those old hunky like cowboy revolvers too. Like, hey, get an AR.
Get an AR.
It's 2018. Get an AR with the red dot. Take that dude out. Take him out real fast.
I don't know, man.
And if you're a doomsday prepper, I'm pretty sure you could get your hands on some illegal shit. Get a grenade launcher.
Yeah,
I get it.
I get it.
Hey guys,
she's not even a good Sarah Connor because Sarah Connor would have kicked that. It would have kicked.
Oh no, yeah. Like I said,
yeah. Like
she spent 40 years. She spent 40 years preparing, but when she finally sees him, she's like all shaky still. I'm just like, come on, man.
Well, and then she prepares that whole underground, under the kitchen thing, and then as soon as he gets there, opens it up so you can come inside. It's just so ridiculous.
But was that the plan all along? It was a trap, bro. All right.
I guess
a trap.
I guess. Well, let's get into the production because we're already tearing this thing to pieces.
We already went off the rails here.
We went off the rails. Production wise, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think one part of this too. I mean, the movie looks fine. It was shot, fine in terms of modern standards. It's par. But it, the music. I wish they would have built more atmosphere. Would have played off the Halloween theme. And then, it's taking place obviously on Halloween night. I thought they could have, got a little deeper on that and kind of build up at least some of the suspense. A lot of the parts, you just felt like you were going through the motions. Like when he's going through the house and he's going after the babysitter and stuff. Like I didn't really feel any like terror or anything like that.
I mean,
overall for the production, let me see what I gave it here. I think I gave it a 12 out of 20.
Okay, so we're not too far. I gave it a 15. I like the soundtrack mainly because of the iconic theme song, right?
It is iconic. I wish they would use it more.
I don't think so, because then it would have just been like all the Halloween theme song throughout the whole every scene, you know.
Couldn't hurt.
I think it was used sparingly and it was used right, and everything else was okay. Like you said, it definitely wasn't gritty pretty like Conjuring, but it wanted to be, but they just didn't want to go over that hump, like to really stylize it. Like it lacked pizzazz, guys. Like it lacked pizzazz.
It really did.
I don't know.
Rich, what'd you give in terms of a production?
I give it a 14. You know what it was missing to be a sequel to the one 40 years ago, to the original Halloween movie? What made that movie kind of like iconic for me when I was a kid was it had that really built up suspense, like Steve was saying. Mm-hmm. You could hear Michael Myers walking and the leaves crackling. You know what I mean? You could, when he was like in a scene, this movie, when you saw him, he was just kind of quiet, and it just kind of felt like you were a passenger watching him go on a murder spree instead of like, it just didn't draw you in, because those little nuances, like those little creaks in the sound, like that draws people into the movie. It builds it up, and this movie lacked it, and it made it really fucking boring.
Especially when the main thing this movie's trying to offer to you is that suspense type of horror. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So this is like, if anything, focus on this. If you're going to cut some corners in the plot, okay, I'll look the other way, but at least build up these scenes where he's going to actually like, kill these folks. And I mean, again, getting back to like, again, it just feels uninspired. Okay, I get the kitchen knife is a staple. Then get creative in the way he kills these folks. A lot of the times, some of the scenes we don't even see when it cuts away, right? When he stabs the girl, the babysitter girl, and then when he kills the boyfriend, we don't even see it. We just see his body later. So at least choreograph that, and we can see the fight scene. You can see them going back and forth, and then Michael, obviously gets the best of them. We don't even get it. We just see the aftermath.
You get a PG-13 made-for-TV movie. Only scene that was kind of gritty and gruesome is when he went into that house and stabbed the girl through the neck. That's the only one you really kind of get to see.
Well, dude, he stomped that guy's brains in.
Like I forgot about that. You're right. You're right.
That's true.
And all the macaroni and cheese came out. So yeah, I guess you're right. I'm still not a fan, but
all right.
All right. Well, we're losing steam. We're losing steam right now. Let's talk about Jamie Lee Curtis and the performances here in this thing. Al, were there any stand-up performances besides Jamie Lee in this? Was there any of the other characters you liked?
Here's the thing: there was no stand-up performances. My notes literally says Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay, so because it's pretty much, it revolves around her. I can't really judge Michael Myers' acting because he didn't. I could have done that. For all you know, that was me under the mask. All right. Except I'm 5'7". That guy was like 7 foot. But I gave it a 19 just because it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
I'm really selling this movie, guys. So
you're trying. Hey, I'll give you props because me and Rich, we're just beating this movie with 2 baseball bats, and you're trying to defend it right now. I'll give you props. I think that's a great way of saying it. It's like, there's nothing about this movie that made me cringe or that I, hated, but it just felt very uninspired. And as far as the performances go, Jamie Lee was fine. As a distraught older lady, now looking for her revenge. Okay. The young granddaughter Allison, I thought she was a likable character.
Yeah, she was.
But other than that, the characters were pretty meh. One character in particular that I just was waiting for him to die, and I was kind of disappointed because I wish they would have did it more gruesome. The dad, that guy was so annoying. Oh my god, I don't know who cast that guy. I couldn't wait for that. I wanted something bad to happen. That guy, the moment he started talking, I was like, get rid of this guy.
That guy still got choked out in his neck snap. Granted, that probably wasn't the most gruesome way, but he was really dumb. He was just like, let me just go out there, even though I know this guy's going to be out there.
Yeah, let me just appear into this window and see what's going on. I mean, I know there's a maniac on the loose, but oh my gosh. Rich, what do you got in terms of the acting?
This is actually my highest one, and I'm going to give it a little love here. I gave it a 20.
Okay. Well, that's not as far for me.
Yeah.
19.
I mean, what stood out to me as horrible acting and just kind of made me almost want to just be like, I'm not watching this movie. I'm going to go make a burrito or something. Is actually in the very beginning when that podcast guy brings out the mask, and he's like, "Say something, say something."
He's
And
like,
everybody's going
he's like, you
crazy.
feel it. He's like, you feel it, don't you?
Feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm fucking done. Like, I can't
Well,
do this.
You
I
feel
mean,
it, don't you?
if
Huh?
they,
You feel it?
why'd they have to do something like I was screaming and drooling, and
Yeah.
it's so stupid.
That was actually a pretty cool shot at the beginning where they were kind of walking out into like the
yeah,
courtyard.
yeah.
but they
That,
ruined
like,
I
that
agree.
scene. Brings out the mask, gets all emo
Well, I
and
think
rage.
something we touched on before we started recording too was like, talking about what could he have done differently to make this better. That whole hospital part, I wish they would have, you could have showed more in there. He could have escaped from the hospital instead of doing that cheesy scene with the bus on the side of the road. Like they could have gotten there and you see him break out. Instead, it was just, I don't know. I agree that opening sequence, it was interesting. In the beginning, I was okay. I'm engaged. Like, what's going on? Is something weird going to happen? I thought he might kill that guy right there in the yard in front of everybody. Everyone's screaming and yelling. You're like, oh crap!
That's where he
builds it
gets
up,
out,
and then nothing
you know what I
happens.
mean?
Yeah, like I'll agree with you there. I actually thought when I first watched it, I was like, did I miss when like the bus kind of went off the rails, or like did I know I didn't go to the bathroom, but yeah, they didn't even like they just kind of threw it off like, yeah, he overtook the guard.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know.
And then the whole scene with the dad and the son, and oh look there's here's a bus full of a psychiatric ward convicts on the side of the road. Let me see if anyone needs help. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and it sucks because
and this is 2018, guys.
Get your cell phone out, bro.
Present day.
Yeah,
if anybody in 2018 saw a group of people wearing the same jumpsuits that came out of a bus, they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna turn around and we're just gonna call the cops.
And and it sucks because that kid just wanted to go to dance class.
Well, maybe that's the message. You just can't dance on Halloween. There is no dancing on Halloween.
Okay, if that was the message, it totally went over my head. All right, Rich? Like,
never gonna dance again.
Maybe that was.
He's never gonna dance again.
It would have been more effective if Michael Myers comes out and just breaks his legs and then just leaves him.
He's like, there, you're never gonna dance again, all right, kid?
All right.
And he goes 2 words,
all right?
No dance. Walks away.
Oh,
Only 2 words he ever says is no dance.
No dance. Like, what does it mean? He's so evil.
He's born evil. All right. He just didn't want him to dance again.
One of the characters I did like a little bit though was the deputy, Will Patton's character. I forget his name.
Yeah,
I liked him. He was pretty likable. I wish we could have seen more of him, and maybe him and Michael like really gotten into it.
Dude, he's a
it's a shame that
he's a good actor, and they
didn't have a good face off.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't have a face off. Like he just got stabbed in the neck by that shady doctor, which I knew he was gonna be shady. You already knew that. You already knew that. He wasn't Loomis. All right, he was no Loomis.
Say something.
Like say something.
Stomp.
Stomp. He was like, all right, well, you're getting your face stomped now. There, boom.
Right,
it would have been great if he stomped him and then he said something.
And then he said something. That would have been great. He just said, no, ha. That's all he says. Walks away.
Oh god.
Oh man. All right, we're drudging along here. Let's get into the directing. I don't have a lot of more points to really touch on that we already said. It just felt, like I said, it kind of again felt uninspired. One thing, I actually did get this quote here off the Wikipedia page that I thought said kind of a little bit, give you a little background on the story of it, just in terms of what they were thinking. Let me see here. So it's talking about when they were writing, coming up with the script, they were saying the problem, rather than reboot the series again, they initially chose to focus primarily on continuing the mythology of the first 2 films when developing the story. And Danny McBride, who helped write it, talks about, we all came to the decision that remaking something that already works isn't a good idea. So we went with reimagining instead. And I think that's kind of the problem here. I think they just played it too safe. Now I understand the other sequels jump ship, you know what I mean? And you're trying to bring it back home again, but you still got to do something to kind of reinvigorate the franchise. And I feel like this was just too much close to the original, and if anything lacking, because you've already seen the original, so you know how this ends. And it just and I don't always need U-turns and twists and turns or complexity, but a little something would have helped on this one, because I felt like as soon as you saw the opening scene, you knew how this was going to end.
You're saying the twist at the end where it was a trap wasn't a good enough twist for you?
Here's the thing, guys. Like I feel like they wanted to make a homage to the original, which I feel like they did. There was a lot of nods to the original when Lori fell off like her house, and then she was laying on the ground, and then Michael looks and she disappears. That's exactly the opposite of what happened to Michael.
But
He did the same thing,
you're not gonna
and then
you're not gonna hold the torchlight to John Carpenter though. I mean, do something different.
He was part of
and then
this. He was one of the producers. I mean, he could.
yeah, that's the reason why, like, and then like the whole, like, it showed her shadow of her face, that like when she was behind Michael at the very end.
Right.
A lot of like little nods to the original, except this time she was like the Michael character, like doing all that. So I gotta give him props for that. The directing, like I said before, it kind of just lacked pizzazz. It didn't like really draw you in. It was very pedestrian, and I don't say that in a bad way. It wasn't horrible, and it moves well. It was under 2 hours, which is the Owl's rule for horror movies. And yeah, the Owl rule. But there was really no memorable scenes. Not like the original Halloween. There was some iconic scenes about just him standing in like near the bushes. Like everyone knows that scene. Everyone knows like the scene where they were looking down on him, and or like the ghost when she had the sheet like over it. And that they kind of try to redo that with like the babysitter, but it just didn't hit as hard as like the original one. I still give it a 19 out of 30, because like I said, I like the very beginning where he did kind of just show Michael Myers out of focus in the background, and it didn't really like, so that was really cool. In the cemetery, in the garage, beating that guy to death, and you just kind of just saw his like fist going like that. But yeah, it just didn't hit like as hard as like, say, like James Wan's The Conjuring, which was like in your face, super hyper, like like stylized, but this one wasn't it. It was just kind of like straddling the line.
I agree.
Perfect way to say it. I mean, it's just, why can you straddle the line when you have something like potentially great there with Michael Myers? You know what I mean? If they wanted to say he was the incarnate of evil, couldn't they have told that in a cooler story? Like, right. You know what I mean? Maybe something where he is evil, like, and it tells like a little bit of that story, a little darker. That would have been cool. No. I thought that would have been cool. If they could make this movie better, I would rather see that instead of watching the same movie from not even the same movie, just too many nods to the original, like you said.
Yeah, but they just didn't want to. They wanted to keep it straight. They didn't want to jump the shark like the other sequels did. Yeah, that's why they didn't like make him like be like a demon or anything like stupid. Steve said,
they went too conservative though. You know what I mean? That's like way too conservative.
I get it. I get that.
Especially for a horror movie, it wasn't scary. Like, not for me.
That's where
like, at all. Nothing about this movie scared me.
Exactly.
So that just kind of fell flat for me. So I gave it a 16 for directing.
Okay, that's fair. I get it. I get all your gripes. I get it.
Yeah. And I mean, and just to be clear on this, because I know we've been kind of rough on the movie so far. I can't speak for everybody, but I know for me, and I'm guessing for Al too. I mean, I went into the movie wanting to like it. I was actually excited to watch the film because I hadn't seen it, and I was, like I said, looking forward to it. So it just felt, and in the end, it just felt disappointing. Felt a little too safe, a little milquetoast, and it didn't really build like that suspense, like Rich was saying. So. Getting into X Factors, for everything that we've kind of said about it, I'm not done with the franchise. If they came out with something new and it looked intriguing, I'd watch it again. X Factor wise, I ended up giving it a 4. So, kind of disappointed at the end, but again, I didn't hate the movie. I just felt they played it too safe. If they come back again, I hope maybe they get some new director or something who pumps some life into it.
Get James Wan and
Conjuring universe.
Put in the Conjuring universe, him versus the Nun. Is that enough? Is that enough pizzazz for you, Rich? Is that enough? Like
the Warrens versus Michael Myers.
Right? Ooh,
honestly, I don't. I think this franchise might be dead.
Oh God, you are. What was in like that beer you were drinking?
Dude, I don't know. You got to do something. They got to do something, especially because they're going to turn this into a trilogy. Like,
look at the box office.
They got to think of something. They have to. So for X Factor, I gave it a 3 just because it'd be nice.
Man, you guys are.
Just want to give us some
Here's
points.
The thing, guys. Here's the thing.
This movie to me is like, for Halloween, 1, not scary. 2, this is like that Halloween candy that you get that opened up in the bottom of your bag and melted everywhere.
This
It
is
was
like
just
that.
not-
What's that candy corn stuff?
Candy corn.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
everyone
that, but
gets-
I actually like candy corn.
You are
Oh, do
the
you?
only person
The only
I
person I've
know
ever
that
met.
I
likes
like them.
candy corn.
I can't. I can only have 4 or 5 of them because they give me a stomach ache. But I
Well,
do
this
like
is this is like, what are those, like the Pete's, the little like what do you call it? What are those things? Like the soft.
marshmallow. The marshmallow birds.
Yes, those.
Peeps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pete. It's like, that's what it felt like to me. Like, you get them and you're just like, ugh, like, what am I gonna do with it? I don't want to eat this. Like, what am I gonna do with this?
Yes.
All right, here's the thing.
This movie with stale candy.
All right, here's the thing. I want to bring this home. All right, I'm gonna bring this home. X Factor 10. All right, I'm back. I'm back with the 10s in X Factor. All
You're
right,
gonna have to
And let me
explain this one.
thank you. If you let me, I was gonna explain. All right, so you
can
rudely
take back, you can
interrupted
take
me.
back your time.
Take
All
that
right.
time out.
Here's the thing. It took a lot of guts to throw away 40 years of sequels to make this the only legit sequel. One, that takes guts, and then two, it threw away all of the previous stories. They're not even brother and sister anymore. Like, that was the main thing. That was the big reveal in like Halloween 2, was they were brother and sister, and that's the reason why he was going after her. But this one threw that away, which makes sense because it's scarier to think that it's just random, that he didn't have a reasoning. That's why he's evil incarnate, guys. All right. See, I'm tying everything back into like the beginning. All right. 10 out of 10. Deal with it. All right.
All right, Rich.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with it.
What did you get? What did you? All right, let's just give our final scores and let's wrap this bad boy up. Final score for me, I ended up giving it a 53. Al, what does the 10 put you at?
It gave it a respectable 70 out of 100, guys.
Okay, all right.
Bad. I give it a 58.
Okay, all right.
It was almost a 60. Like, I didn't. No, I hated the movie. It was.
You almost had me there, Rich. You almost had me, you son of a
boring.
bitch.
So boring. Should have made that burrito. This gave me burrito regrets.
I know.
We'll make one right now, bud. All right.
All right. Well, I mean, this was disappointing. Like I said, that's the biggest takeaway I have from this movie. It's disappointing. We tried. In terms of the fright cap, we kind of missed the fright on this one, at least for me. Maybe next week will be better when we do our next movie. But hopefully people.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like, it's still don't distract. Don't let these guys stop you from watching it. It's still a decent movie.
I'll say this: anybody watching, if we were wrong, tell us why. What did we miss that we don't appreciate?
Or, yeah, like, tell these guys why they're wrong, because they are. Like I said, I'm not like praising this movie, but it wasn't awful, guys. So
you could tell me why you're wrong all you want in the comments. I'm still going to defend my point that this movie was boring with a capital B.
Okay, right. Well, there's that. So I don't know what else to say. I tried. Yeah, I tried, guys.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Well, from the Fright Cap, everybody stay safe out there. Don't eat that candy corn. It ain't good for you.
All right, man. Be safe, guys. See you next time.